We need to find the unknown length in the right triangle and round our answers to the nearest tenth. So this is our right triangle. The way you know that it's a right triangle is because it says 90 degrees down here. What we're going to be using is the Pythagorean theorem. And there's some formulas that go with that. For those formulas, we need to know the names of the sides of a right triangle. And so the one that you have to find and should find first is called the hypotenuse. It's a Greek name. I know it's funny, but it's just what we're stuck with because a Greek man named Pythagoras came up with it. And so what we do is we have our right angle down here. And what you do is you look across from that right angle. That's where your hypotenuse is. The other two sides, the two that make up this right angle, those are both called legs. Okay, so we've got all the pieces now, and so we're trying to find the hypotenuse. Well, there's two formulas that you'll work with here, and it all depends on which side you're trying to find. We'll go ahead and put both down here so that you're familiar with them. First one is that the hypotenuse equals the square root of the leg squared plus the other leg squared. And the other equation is if you're trying to find a leg, the leg equals the length of the square root of the hypotenuse squared minus the leg squared. Okay, so we have to figure out which side we're trying to find. We know we're supposed to be finding this hypotenuse, so that means we're using the equation that says the hypotenuse equals, which is this first equation that we wrote down. So that's one we're going to be working with. And so we need to know what the two legs are. Well, they're over here, and it really doesn't matter which one goes first, but we've got 8 and 15. So we're going to plug those in place of the word that I wrote leg. So it's the square root of 8 squared plus 15 squared. Okay, now it's just order of operations. So inside the square root, we need to do those exponents first. 8 squared is 64. 15 squared is 225. Then we need to add. 64 plus 225 is 289. And then we take the square root of 289 and we get 17. That's the length of this hypotenuse. And since the other two sides were in inches, this one is also. We'll make sure we label that. So the hypotenuse is 17 inches long.